Trauma. From birth to death, your body experiences many different types of traumas. Car accidents, falling off a ladder, that tackle that was just a little too hard, not to mention your actual birth. Really. These all take a toll on your body, and over time can lead to aches, pains, and even worse. But there is hope to the traumas your body has encountered, and to give us this hope, let's join Dr. Christy Otto right now.
Suffering is optional. That's the motto that our office has embraced, as well as most chiropractors out there have embraced that motto of suffering is optional. The doctor of chiropractic is concerned with a lot of different aspects of your health, and most people that enter the office of a doctor of chiropractic come from some form of trauma, whether that be from a motor vehicle collision, with a whiplash injury, maybe it's a slip and fall. Here in Wisconsin, we have a lot of slips and falls on the ice dealing with our fun wintry conditions. Also, we have a lot of sports injuries that come into our office. Not the Green Bay Packers, but we also have a lot of collegiate, high school, and even the little Pop Warner football kids come in with different spine-related injuries from a traumatic insult to their spine. We also see a lot of sports injuries, but we also have even childbirth. We love to take care of newborn babies. That is the best gift that you could give to a new baby that's just gone through a traumatic birth. I'm talking about a little bit more about the spine and how this mechanism of injury affects your whole life. Mechanism of injury from a whiplash is probably the easiest to explain. If you receive a whiplash, you received a traumatic insult to your spine. What happens within 12 hours, that joint automatically forms scar tissue. Now, scar tissue doesn't act like healthy tissue. Scar tissue is highly innervated. It's stiff. It's sore. It's super sensitive. It doesn't function right. The best place that you could be in the world after a traumatic insult like that, after a motor vehicle collision, is in a doctor of chiropractic's office. The doctor of chiropractic analyzes the spine. It finds the subluxation, restores the function. If a joint is functioning better, it'll feel better. But even from a biomechanical standpoint, if this joint isn't moving right, if it's not functioning, even various areas above and below the spine are altered. So when we're dealing with mechanism of injury, it only takes 4 miles an hour for a car accident. If someone hits you from behind at 4 miles an hour, you've received a traumatic insult to your spine. You're in trouble. Where do you look? Find a doctor of chiropractic. Now, going back to the scar tissue, there is a mechanism in there that, let me put it this way, it acts like a scab. When you have scar tissue in that joint, it acts like a scab. And if you've ever cut yourself and you have a scab, if you ever bump that scab and you're like, wow, that hurts, the reason why is years ago the doctors used to say that it's all in your head, and they've actually come out with a term. It's called denervation hypersensitivity. Big word that means scar tissue hurts. So if you bump that scab, it hurts. It's your body's way of protecting that joint. So the awesome thing about chiropractic is when you get adjusted, you restore that function. The joints have to have movement to heal. And as it heals, it gets rid of the scar tissue, replaces it with healthy tissue. And guess what? Healthy tissue doesn't hurt. We love that. Also, getting back to mechanism of injury, there are 3 million new reported whiplashes out there as of on a year-to-year basis. 3 million new whiplashes that are reported. And that's according to the Spine Institute of Trauma out of San Diego. They also say that these are reported, so how many go unreported? I know in Wisconsin we have a lot of whiplashes. We have slips and falls on the ice, all kinds of trauma. There's a lot of people out there that could benefit from chiropractic. They have headaches, dizziness, nausea, spine pain. Send them, if you have a coworker that reporting this, that they're constantly complaining about this, send them to your doctor of chiropractic. We'd love to help them. I want to get back to the benefits of getting adjusted. So what I talked about previously is when you have some kind of trauma to your spine, you go see the doctor of chiropractic. They analyze your spine. They find the subluxation. They restore the function. The function gets you on your path to feeling better. The other side benefit of that, when you get adjusted, it increases your, your neurological pathways to even breathe better. So even if you do yoga, even if you do meditation, those things are great. But when you're subluxated, it doesn't allow for normal mechanical breathing. And if you think of a whole body process, breathing is expensive from a neurological aspect. All these messages that come from your brain all the way up, except for smell, sight, sensation, taste, hearing, all these things, before it even goes to your brain, your cortex, it goes through an organ called the thalamus. The thalamus controls everything. The thalamus is concerned on a hierarchy of needs. What a unique organ. It's concerned with breathing. You can't go very long without breathing. It's concerned with heart rate, glandular function. It's concerned with gait. You have to move around. So the awesome benefit of getting adjusted is after you get adjusted, you actually fall back into that normal mechanical breathing, very efficient breathing. If you're breathing weird, you're going to expend a lot of excess energy on breathing weird. You think of how many times you breathe in a day? So after you get adjusted, you have all this extra energy that you can use for healing, for maybe fighting cancer, for whatever needs to take place to heal this body. You have a new body every 285 days, so there's a lot of cells that are replacing. And if you have been in a trauma or some kind of a car accident or whatever it may be, just given birth, you have a lot of cells to be replaced here. So suddenly after you get adjusted, you have all this extra energy. Well, who couldn't have that? Who would love that? I love that. That's one of the side benefits of getting adjusted. The other aspect is just dealing with gait. My husband just recently did Ironman Wisconsin. You talk about trauma to the spine with the running and the bike, and then 15 hours later he crosses the finish line. That's a lot of trauma for the human body. But the human body is amazing. It has amazing healing capabilities. So with this trauma, watching people with their gait, you have to function right. Even if you don't have pain, watching people with their gait, they're going to have trouble. You have to have that function right on. The other side benefit of getting adjusted is that it restores that gait. Because gait takes a lot of energy. It costs a lot of ATP or energy that you need throughout your day. So there again, second benefit, it frees up all this extra energy that you can use to heal up and repair and restore and regenerate. How awesome is that? I want to leave you with a couple things too. So if you remember a couple things, if you've been in a trauma, if you have coworkers out there that are always complaining and nagging, or your wife or your children, get them checked. Send them to your doctor of chiropractic. They'll be more than willing to help you because who wants to suffer? Nobody wants to suffer. Get adjusted. Get busy living.